Welcome back to Property Playbook. We're your hosts, Elena Saradidis.
And Erica Reddy-Choquette.
And today we're going to talk about a very hot topic, or should I say cold topic.
Ooh, good play on words.
Welcome to what is happening after December 15th.
Yes.
So do you want to take it away?
Sure. So I think December 15th, for those that don't know, this is kind of the big date, drum roll, all of the kind of Bank of Canada changes and announcements that we've all been talking about are going to be rolling out when it comes really to amortization and the actual down payment structure and insured mortgages. So those are the big hot button topics that everybody's kind of waiting for and thinking we're going to see a lot of momentum on. Now, we're a bit split on our views on this.
I don't know. But I'm going to dumb it down for everyone that's listening on what Erica is talking about. Basically, before, if you put less than 20% down, you could only qualify for a 25-year amortization, so your mortgage would run you 25 years. Now you can put less than 20% down and get a 30-year amortization. Before, people that were putting less than 20% down could only qualify up until $1 million. Now they can qualify up to 1.5.
Yes.
So the market is changing. That entry-level home price, I'm seeing an uptake in. So everyone entering the market with a with a little over $1 million budget, all the way up until 1.5 is seeing an uptake now.
Yes, in the sense that you're saying you're seeing more competition in the marketplace presently in that threshold.
100%.
Yeah. We were just talking about this right before we started, in the sense that I had offers yesterday on a house exactly in that bracket.
And then my question is when is the closing?
Closing is January.
And now that person, if they are a first-time home buyer, just bought a house that they could qualify for with less than 20% down and close in January and get the benefits of 30-year amortization. Maybe they're putting more than 20% down, but they're going to get the benefit.
Absolutely.
So what I've been telling all my clients, and I'm sure you're telling them the same thing, is buy with today's purchase price, but close with tomorrow's interest rate. And we're getting close to the point where everyone's going to start listening to that and start to buy. And that's a snowball effect to where the price is no longer going to be as advantageous as it is right now.
Yes. And I personally believe, and I know we talked about this a couple episodes ago, I really do think you're going to see this open up the ability for some people to, afford a house that they couldn't before. That $1 million threshold is a really tough threshold in our city to actually get what you want. I know I say what you want, and some people go, well, I can't get what I want at any price point. And I respect the fact that that can be challenging, but the 999,999 offer is a tough offer to put in when a lot of houses sell for 1.1, 1.2, even 1.3. So I really think opening that threshold up, I'm not saying everybody has to go and spend beyond their means. I think that's the misunderstanding here, is spending at a place where you're like, oh my gosh, for 1.1, I can actually get what I want. And now I can have the insured mortgage product.
Definitely. The other thing that we're seeing, and Christmas time, or seasonal time, I should say, usually has a bad rap. People are like, oh, the winter is a bad time to sell because it doesn't show as well. Well, what I've seen with a lot of my clients, and I'm sure your clients are doing the same, is they're photographing the property now before the snow hits, and then we'll list it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So prepping your property for that time, especially now that you know that there's a hot little season coming of people that can afford to buy that they could not buy before. They're entering the market now. Get your home ready if your plan is to sell.
Yeah.
So get your photos done before the snow hits the ground.
Well, I'm actually really curious because my favorite time to list is end of Jan, beginning of February. That's one of my favorite sectors in the market because I really find you don't have supply, but you do have demand. And I think this year is going to be really interesting to watch. I think you're going to see the spring market start up much sooner than before because, to your point, you're going to see everybody now with this bandwidth of affordability, and you're not going to see the inventory because there isn't typically a lot. And I think you could see a real sweet spot for sellers that are prepped, ready, and set to go end of Jan, beginning of Feb. And then, to your point, if you've prepped even in advance and you've got great photos when it's not that awkward, dreary, gray, slushy muck, your house is going to show that much better. I don't know. I think that's when we could really see things kind of pick up some serious momentum.
And we also did touch upon interest rates, and they are coming down, and eventually they'll hit a point where they've come low enough that the purchase prices also come up. So just keep that in mind. The perfect storm of real estate is upon us.
Yeah. Well, I think the perfect storm, even to your point, interest will drive that, but if all of a sudden you have more people that are able to compete against each other for a certain price point, that unto itself will drive the pricing, because right there you've got more buyers with more bandwidth. As of right now, if you've got people that are capped at $1 million and you've got people that can go above $1 million, someone that can go to $1,025,000 has tons of buying power because everybody else is capped at $999,999. So it didn't take a lot to crack your competition. But now if all of a sudden that competition can move up, now you've got people that are actually able to compete, and there's more people, so to speak, that can cross $1 million that haven't been able to cross it before.
100%. So you're looking at longer amortization years. You're looking at being able to put less than 20% down up until 1.5, and you're looking at lower interest rates. The perfect little trifecta. Of what is going to happen after that December 15th date. And I've already seen a kind of pickup happen with people that are planning to close further out and benefit from that lower interest rate or the less than 20% down in the higher product, but still purchase today. So they can get the better price.
Well, and I think, to be honest, I don't think most people are really looking to close until the new year at this point. Like all the deals I'm putting together right now, even regardless of these changes, we're hitting that point where everybody's like, I'm not moving in the middle of, the holiday season. I'm not moving over those kind of peak 2 weeks with Christmas and New Year's and people away and vacations. And so I think, this is definitely the time, though, to take advantage of
I'm not
inventory.
getting that. I'm getting get me the best deal possible and like get me the best interest rate possible. And they're like, I don't care when we close.
Interesting.
Just close me out whenever like I need to get me the best deal. And if it means I close in 5 days or in 10 days or in 30 days or 60 days, then get me the best deal on the market. And I've had people score really good. Like, have you heard of a 1-bedroom in like a beautiful condo for $450,000?
No, that's pretty unheard of.
One of my clients just closed on it. We did a 10-day closing because it's unheard of. There are deals in this market, especially in the condo sector. Like we're talking about the houses, and like that's where we're going to see the real uptake in entry-level homes. I think is where we're going to see the biggest change in our market in the new year. But what we're not talking about is condos, and the condo market is depressed. Like there is inventory. There is inventory and people are getting deals. Like these are things that were unheard of. Like look at what those condos were selling for in the peak of the market. We will go back to there. And if you have time to hold on to that product until you get to that number, like buy it and hold.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we just put a deal together a couple of weeks back and the client paid $100,000 less than the seller paid 2 years ago. You know?
And sometimes they have to sell.
100%.
And that's the part that I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to. Like we talked about it on the last episode, which I'm so happy to have you back.
Thank you.
But we did talk about foreclosures and power of sales and how those are coming into the market and what that kind of looks like. Are they the deal of a lifetime or are they just another purchase that you have no warranties attached to? So if you like that episode, go back, take a look at it again, because we do talk about what is changing in the market and how power of sales are becoming more and more evident in this market. So people that bought pre-construction for the most part are getting into a little bit of trouble in the sense that anything that was closing, if it doesn't appraise, they're having a difficult time. So they're getting B lenders, and B lenders or private mortgages are traditionally higher interest rates.
Of course.
So if someone has to pay $10,000 a month, let's say, to help close on a new construction 1-bedroom, there's no way that cash flows in the realm of possibilities.
No.
So if you're bleeding every single month, do you have a higher likelihood of fire saling it? Probably. So there are deals out there in the market. You have a chance of getting in on a product that you would not have gotten that price for a month, 2 years, 3 years ago.
But I think what's also really interesting on the condo market, and this is going back to an Urbanation presentation that we were both at a couple weeks back now, that I thought was fascinating, because of course there's always the moment when you're buying now and you're going, okay, I think I can wrap my head around this being a good deal. But like the condo market, as you said, is in a pretty depressed state right now. So it's a tough market to actually see the light of day on. We see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it can be hard as a buyer to wrap your head around that. But I think what I really took away from that presentation was you're really seeing the halt on building. And so what people aren't necessarily factoring is in 3 to 5 years, like we don't have this massive pipeline of inventory in the system the way we have in the past. So once we work through this inventory that we presently have, there really isn't going to be a tremendous amount of inventory that comes into the market. So I think that's what is really important when you're looking at that time horizon and you're thinking out 3 to 5 years. I think there's going to be tremendous opportunity having bought at the price point you're buying at now, and then looking forward to the fact that we just won't have the inventory that we need to keep up with the growing population and the demands of the city. And then you want to talk about another perfect storm, perfect trifecta. You're holding great product that you paid a really great price for that all of a sudden has demand.
Yeah. And just to like dumb that down even more is in the past. So like, let's say this year, last year, the year before, pre-construction sales have been depressed, which means like not a lot of people are buying pre-construction. If people don't buy pre-construction, that inventory doesn't get built. And it takes 3 to 5 years for that project that you bought on paper to actually become a developed building. So if no one bought new inventory and no new construction is being developed, then in that threshold, in that 2026, 2027 mark, we're not going to have new product hitting the market.
No.
But immigration. I can't even speak anymore. Immigration, whoever was already here, the threshold of how long it will take them to come to Canada to develop their home and then buy real estate is in that threshold, 2026, 2027. The timeline for when any foreign students that were in here that eventually will get their PR and work into getting something in the market is that threshold. So like they've studied this, how long it will take someone that is coming to Canada to actually purchase. And the perfect storm timeline is 2026, 2027.
Yeah.
And that really, really sucks because in 2026, 2027, there's no added new inventory.
No.
So it will be a tougher market to buy in during that time. But if you bought something now and held it until then, you're going to do really, really well.
Exactly. And so I think that's where it's really important to understand the trends and what's coming forward, because that pipeline, and again, the other piece of the presentation that, you know, Sean made such a great point on is, okay, great. So everybody thinks, well, when they just get the cranes swinging again, everything starts again. But I think he had said, and don't quote me exactly, but I believe he had said almost each crane represents 500 jobs. And so all those job sites that then don't get built, all of a sudden don't have all of those people, and those people then go and find other work. So just turning job sites on, so to speak, putting cranes back in the ground and bringing people to build does not happen overnight. So there's that big lag that is going to be coming into the system. So I think anticipating that, getting ahead of that, looking at the fact that you've got great opportunities as a purchaser, and then obviously you've got, you know, lending that's even backing you further, rates that are backing you further. I really think it's a great time for those that are sitting on the sidelines to get off the sidelines.
Well, it goes back to the Warren Buffett saying, it's like you purchase real estate when no one else wants to purchase it, and you sell it when everyone's trying to purchase it. So like there is if you wanted to time the market, and I'm not saying people can ever time the market because I don't believe in telling people that. I don't have a crystal ball, but it's sounding like this is the timing of the market.
Yeah.
Or as close we can get to predicting the timing of the market because of these perfect storms that are occurring around us.
Yes, absolutely.
So once again, it's Elena Saradidis.
And Erica Reddy-Choquette.
And this was Property Playbook. If you like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.